The invisible threat of cybercrime and the devastating physical impact of water pump and infrastructure theft. From the rise of cyber scams to the targeted stripping of communal boreholes. Joining us on the line is Chief Inspector Vehongaiza Ruiter, the Nampol Kunene Community Affairs Officer, to shed light on how Nampol is fighting back and what you need to do to protect your property and your digital identity. Good morning, Inspector. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. Now, Kunene currently accounts for roughly 3% of national cybercrime reports. Does this reflect a genuinely lower incidence rate, or is cybercrime underreported due to limited awareness or digital access in rural areas?
Yeah, thank you so much for this very important question. One will not really say maybe it's underreported because the community is trying their best to report. But at the same time, I would say maybe it's underreported because what I have seen from the community, they are ashamed to come forth once they become a victim of a particular situation. More especially the issue of fraud through scam. They will tell you, they will even give you fake information while they know already that they are in such a situation. Sometimes they will also try to ask advice from you, and then while you are advising them, they will not take your advice or comply with what you are advising them. Later on, after they have become a victim, is when they are coming. So it may be, one can say there's an ignorance in our community because there is also the desperation, or what can one say, because they are a bit desperate to have money, one can say, because they will be told that this is happening with your account, and for us to protect or for us to send you money, you should do this. A person will call a police officer will advise. While you have other advice, they will still continue and engage the criminal or the scammer. So I could really say
President Nandi Ndaitwa told the lawmakers that the renewed focus
within our community, and this is something that we really want to emphasize on, that once we are always urging the community that do not give an opportunity to the criminals to engage with you. Once they have called you and they are starting to say, no, your bank, there's abnormal or unusual transaction that is going into your bank, you should know already that this is a criminal or not an official from the bank that is talking to me. That is really one thing. The other thing is also, we are saying do not give your information at all. A bank official or police officer will make sure that once there is something that is not right, they will call you to the police station or to the bank so they can talk to you physically, not to interview on the phone. Please, this is really our plea to the community in regard to the.
It seems that
now, Chief Inspector, who are the most vulnerable groups in the Kunene region when it comes to cybercrime? Are you seeing trends such as the youth being targeted via social media and pensioners through SMS or banking scams?
Recently, the last two incidents that we had, one happened in the area of Ocho, another one happened in the area of Kamanya, whereby one lost over 100,000 and the other one lost over 60,000. These are elderly people, so one will not say it's only the youth that are being targeted, because criminals, they are having strategies. When they are talking to the youth, they use a different language. And when they are talking to the elderly people, they are also using a different language. So they are just trying with everyone where they can get succeed. It's not really, they are not targeting a certain group or individual. They are just doing it randomly.
Now, how cybercrime patterns in towns like Opuwo or Korigas differ from those in larger urban centers such as Windhoek or Walvis Bay?
Come again?
Is there really a difference, with the cybercrime patterns in towns like Opuwo or Korigas compared to the ones that are happening in towns like Windhoek or Walvis Bay?
It's the same. It's the same modus operandi that are being used. They want money because before in Kunene, you will see there was a tactic that they were using. Someone who was saying he's selling a cow, or he's selling cattle, he's selling sheep. I remember it happened in the area of Kamanyap, in the area of Ocho, and then the people sent money. So what they want is money. They will just use different tactics from them to get. So it's not really different from other towns because their target is money, what they want, and they are just doing it in a different way, but for them to get money.
Now, with the ongoing consultations on the cybercrime bill, what additional powers or tools are local officers in the Kunene hoping for to effectively investigate and prosecute offences like online defamation and related crimes?
What we are doing or what we are expecting is just for us to go more on the ground, to reach to the community, and this should be done in a joint venture together with the other stakeholders, such as the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, of which recently last week the minister was also here in our region with the engagement on cybercrime. We have seen how criminals are penetrating, what tactics are they using. So we just as a team, we need to go more to the community. They need to be aware. They need to be educated for them to understand this. And there are challenges also from stakeholders sometimes, such as MTC, whereby they cannot reveal the information because it's a private, it's someone else's information. That also sometimes it hinders the police to investigate or to execute the duty. But we are pleading that this is not a one-man show. For us to save our community, for us to save the nation, we need to hold each other's hand, and every individual, every stakeholder has to play their part in this regard.
Now, Chief Inspector, you said being on the ground could be one of the factors to curb this cybercrime. But what happens when the suspects are based outside the Kunene region or beyond Namibian borders?
There, because we have a cybercrime division within the Namibian police, so it starts from the gravel route, from the grassroots. So the investigation will be done, a case will be opened, and then the case will be handed over to the cybercrime division to investigate and to go deeper. That's the only thing that we can do, because it's so difficult to investigate something that is happening online. Though the investigators, they are also having a way of how to do it. But I'm telling you that much of the percentage, people are losing their money because sometimes people are also demoralized to come and open cases. It's a longer process. It takes long. One has to wait for these investigations to go or to take place. And like I said, when you are going to institutions like the banking institution, MPC, wherever, there are a lot of things also that you need to do. So sometimes people just prefer to say, no, it's fine, let the money go, because sometimes it will take long, maybe a year, or how many years. So, but we are trying by all means. It will not be left unattended to. We will try by all means so that we can make sure that those who are committing cybercrime, they are brought to book.
Now we're turning to infrastructure crime, theft of water pumps and solar panels has become a serious concern in Kunene. How many such cases have been reported in the region over the past 6 months?
One can say, unfortunately, I don't have the statistics to say over the past 6 months how many, but I can just tell you that just within a short period of last month, let's say December, January, to where we are, I think it's more than one can say more than 5 to 10 water pumps that has been stolen, which is a concern to us. It's a concern, and there are some loopholes even with the community, because mostly these water pumps are being stolen from the private or from the commercial farms. And commercial farms are private farming where police officers cannot go patrol on a daily basis since it's a private place for an individual. And for themselves, they don't do regular patrols. They are only realizing or noticing that the water pump was stolen after a month because they don't do patrol. So it's a challenge, really, and it's a crime of concern because one water pump mostly is over 30,000, if I have to give a rough estimate. So it's a concern. So what I want to say to the community is, to the farmers, make sure that when you are installing this water pump, you are taking note of who is the person installing your pump, what company is it, who are the people. Because sometimes it's these people that know how was that pump installed, where was it installed, because a person cannot come from Opuo and knowingly go to Ocho and go and steal the pump from a certain farm that he does not know a direction at all. Secondly, it's the employees, those who are employed there, or either current or the former employee of a certain employer. Because those people, they know that this area is far from the house or it cannot be patrolled. They give each other information. It's a syndicate. They will tell you come this time, you take away. Because sometimes also these farms are being taken. You see today they steal from this farm, tomorrow to the next farm, another day to the next farm. So it's something that is really planned and well informed.
Well, Chief Inspector, thank you so much for joining us on Namibia Connect this morning.
Thank you so much for having us. I hope the community will have the information and will keep on sharing this information until something changes.